your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello everybody and welcome to Agree to Disagree here on thenewamericanmedia.com. I'm your host, as I have been for the past 3 years. My name is Brian Engelman. I appreciate each and every one of you taking a moment of your lives to swing by and say hello. And if you haven't had the chance yet, I would ask and encourage all of you to take a look around at what we've been up to. It's all archived at thenewamericanmedia.com. Last weekend, I had the privilege and pleasure of going to the UCLA event that was no longer at UCLA. It was put on by Free and Equal, and it was the United We Stand Festival. Some of the people we had a chance to talk with at this event, I talked with Sean Stone from Conspiracy Theory and Buzzsaw, Tatiana Moroz, musician, Dan Johnson from Panda, talking about the NDAA, Rosa Corey, author of Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21, talked with her, Ben Swan, journalist, formerly of Fox, and now he's doing his own thing, Truth in Media, Liberty is Rising Project, Luke Rudowski with We Are Change, Adam Kokesh from Adam vs. the Man, Amber Lyon used to work at CNN, and she had some interesting stuff to say. Musician, hip-hop artist, Immortal Technique, and Abby Martin, to name a few. So please check those out on the homepage of thenewamericanmedia.com. If you haven't subscribed, go to youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Definitely check that out. Leave some comments, embed and share some of the information there. We also cover sports and music and spirituality and finance and just a whole bunch of stuff. So please take a look around. We have that there on Twitter. We're at American_media_ and on Facebook, search The New American Media with spaces in between and like the page. I wanted to talk with you today about the FCC and net neutrality. Yeah, this just never stops. I was at an event with Henry Waxman, and he said the culmination, former representative from California, or actually, he's current representative of California. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let me look up Henry Waxman. He doesn't get the headlines of the Nancy Pelosi's and the Barbara Boxers. Okay, can anyone fill Henry Waxman's shoes? May 11th. Okay, from a few days ago. Ranking member Henry Waxman. Okay. Can anyone... Yeah, I just gotta tell you who Henry Waxman is. Click here to see the full article. Jeez. Alright. West Side Politics in Los Angeles. Yeah, Henry Waxman is not running. At least so far. Let's see, Marianne Williamson to be leading the field. Safe to say that none of them, at least so far, fits the 33rd Congressional District in quite the way Waxman has for a couple of generations. He's the one that brought the speed reader to the floor of Congress for all the people that keep saying let's read the bill to find out what's in it with Obamacare. He actually brought a speed reader to laugh at it and point out how silly it is for us to want to know what's in 1,700 pages that are going to take over 1/6 of the economy. Oh no, Nancy Pelosi can't wait to pass it to find out what's in it. Guess what's in it? I lost my health care plan. I lost my doctor. I lost my hospital. And I'm paying $100 more a month. And the privilege of paying for children's pediatric coverage. And I don't have a child. Yeah, this guy. This little weasel. Really, bringing in a speed reader in front of Congress? That's this guy. But I was at an event in the greater Los Angeles area where he said to a private group of donors, net neutrality will be the culmination of our 100-year plan. Sounds conspiratorial. What is conspiracy? What, any more than two or more people planning something? Yeah. So anything net neutrality-wise, I go, oh, hold on, my ears are perking up. Not quite like Henry Waxman's ears. But anyway, so this story is out, and my question to you is going to be, net neutrality, the FCC. How do I phrase this into a question? Because this is agree to disagree. I'll tell you. Let me tell you the story of what's going on here, and then we'll get into maybe the question, because it's regarding the internet, and I have a response to it, but I maybe give you some of the background. All right, let's try this one. Well, I could do Washington Post or I could do Fox. Which one? Well, let's try Washington Post, I think. Let's start there. And then we'll go to the Washington Examiner. FCC approves plan to consider paid priority on the Internet. The Federal Communications Commission on yesterday, voted in favor of advancing a proposal that could dramatically reshape the way that consumers experience the Internet, opening the possibility of Internet service providers, or ISPs, charging websites for higher quality delivery of their content to American consumers. Okay, now I'm going to interject. Does that sound not too dissimilar from Obamacare? So you're going to charge people higher prices to keep decent quality of their stuff. So you can still get something for the same price. It's just going to be lousier. It will be worser. Because that's essentially what, Obamacare, people are losing doctors, they're paying more for their health care plans. The IRS, that's already involved in so much criminal corruption, attacking people of different political persuasions, using the IRS as a weapon, which really should be impeachable. There's no doubt about it. It is impeachable if people would actually just get up and call for it. That and the blatant Edward Snowden revelations that this administration has been spying on each and every one of you, your text messages, your emails, your phone calls, your GPS data, everything that you leave out there. I sent out something on our Facebook page. And it's a picture of a whole bunch of servers, and it says, "In America, you don't I don't have a good Russian accent. I'll just say it in English. Well, with my English accent. With my American accent. In America, you don't browse the internet. The internet browses you." Because they're sucking up tons and tons and tons of data illegally. We have a Fourth Amendment in this nation, and you're not allowed to do that. But this administration is doing it anyway. In case you were a little unclear as to what the Fourth Amendment is, I will read it to you verbatim as soon as I can locate it. Here we go. Fourth Amendment of the United States. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. They're saying everything. Their person, where they live, what they write, and their effects, everything they have, against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Pretty clear. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. So without an oath or affirmation, without a warrant being issued, to go through emails, to go through text messages, to go through cell phone pictures, to go through Facebook posts, to go through everything that you considered private communications on a telephone call with your family and friends. You can't just suck up data haphazardly on everybody, because you need a warrant and probable cause and supported by oath or affirmation that particularly, very specifically describes what is to be searched. So this administration, that's what they're up to. So anytime they want to do anything, yeah, I got a problem with that. And when they took over Obamacare, you see it across the country. People are paying more for worse service, and it was based on fraud. Hands down, fraud. I was told, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Period. So my response to this FCC net neutrality would be, if you like good quality internet service at a reasonable price, you can keep your good quality internet service at a reasonable price. Lies, I tell you. Back to this Washington Post article. The plan, approved in a 3-2 vote along party lines. I don't know what party they're having where, the internet's for everybody. Why would there be party lines? The plan, approved in a 3-2 vote along party lines, could unleash a new economy on the web where an internet service provider, such as Verizon, would charge a website, such as Netflix, for faster video streaming. Or are they going to charge them more for what they're already getting, is my question. Okay, back to the article. The proposal would, though, prohibit telecom firms from outright blocking websites. Sure it would. Yeah, in Benghazi was about a YouTube video. And if we like our doctor, we can keep our doctor. Period. Can't wait to pass it to find out what's in it. The plan is not a final rule, but the vote on Thursday is a significant step toward a controversial idea that has invited fierce opposition from consumer advocates, Silicon Valley heavyweights, and Democratic lawmakers. The Democratic Party or the process? The FCC will now open the proposal to a total 120 days of public comment. Final rules aimed for the end of the year could be rewritten after the agency reviews the public comments. Critics of the plan, as it stands now, worry that it would mark the end of net neutrality, the principle that says that all content online should be treated equally by internet service providers, and I'm going to add whether you agree with the message or not. And we see with Lois Lerner and all the leaked information, Ben Rhodes, all the stuff going on. No. The IRS goes after the people they don't like. If you're in a Tea Party group, a constitutionalist group, you talk about the Bill of Rights or Ron Paul or criticize your government, you're on the list, and now we're going to use the power of the IRS to go after you. We're going to come get you. So why should you trust these people? Good question, because you shouldn't. Critics of the plan as it stands now worry that it would mark the end of net neutrality, the principle that says all online content should be treated equally by internet service providers. After weeks of public outcry over the proposal, FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler said the agency would not allow for unfair or, quote, commercially unreasonable business practices. Yeah. Look, if you're mentioning it, you know what's going to happen. I mean, Obamacare is not about doing what it says it's going to do. It's about crippling the private market and collapsing it into a single-payer system. It's been a Trojan horse from the beginning. If you've been following it, you know that. So if they're saying that, no, we're not going to allow for unfair or commercially unreasonable, yeah, of course you are. Commercially. He wouldn't accept, for instance, practices that leave a consumer with slower downloads of some websites than what the consumer paid for from their internet service provider. Wheeler moved forward with a proposal that could allow new business arrangements between ISPs such as AT&T, Verizon, and Time Warner Cable, and web content providers such as Facebook, Google, and online startups for preferential treatment online. But he also asked whether such deals should be banned outright. There is one internet. It must be fast, it must be robust, and it must be open, Wheeler said. The prospect of a gatekeeper choosing winners and losers on the internet is unacceptable. Solyndra, anybody? GM, anybody? GE, anybody? Selecting winners and losers. Isn't that what communism, socialism, Marxism, crony capitalism, fascism is? I mean, fascism, think about it. I mean, this day and age, think of some bigger companies than the ones that are providing all of the infrastructure and services online. Everybody uses it and needs it. To finish this article, the prospect of telecom companies cutting deals with their content providers has drawn fierce criticism from investors, startups, and big Silicon Valley firms. They say smaller companies that can't afford to pay for faster delivery would likely face additional obstacles against their bigger rivals. Exactly, folks. You don't want this. If you want the dinosaur media putting a further stranglehold on the truth, if you like being able to have your outlet and seeking your truth aggressively and maybe starting your internet empire like I have been doing at the New American Media for the past 3 years, and I'm encouraging all of you to participate at American_media_ on Facebook, youtube.com/The New American Media, and thenewamericanmedia.com. Yeah. Against bigger rivals. And trust me, as someone who started a little corporation out here in California a few years ago, you would be amazed at all of the red tape and bureaucratic bull stuff that they put in your way to keep the little guy from competing. You know why? Because they've rigged the system. They make it too expensive. They make it too complicated. They make it, what was it? Toyota or Honda? One of these, actually, I want to be exact. So I'm going to search car company. Here we go. Car company leaves California for Texas. Pretty good. I'm pretty good at typing, except when I'm trying to read it. And, okay. It makes sense for Toyota to leave California for Texas. That's what it is. This was just, maybe 2 weeks ago, April 28th. Los Angeles, Toyota. And if you write out a Toyota, it spells the same backwards as it does forward. That's called a palindrome. Like a race car. Toyota announced on Monday that it will move its national headquarters to Plano, Texas, after a half-century in the Los Angeles suburbs. The company will create a campus north of Dallas that will bring together 4,000 employees from manufacturing, sales, and marketing, and corporate operations from around the country. Also, moving will be Toyota Financial, its financing arm. So this is what happens when you make things more and more difficult to compete. People leave. People bounce. And what do the powers that be in politics want right now? They want independent journalism, independent media to bounce, to leave. They've lost their stranglehold on the narrative. They've lost the opportunity to craft the dialogue, the Overton window, if you will. Look at a football field. Give it a 10-yard space. Put the two markers up, 10 yards away, and then you have your space. You scroll that whole 10 yards from one end zone to the middle of the field, all the way to the other end zone, and slide it around. The level and range of debate on issues is narrowly focused based on who gets to sway it, left or right. And most of the dinosaur media that is going away, thankfully, with all of their corruption and all of their censored stories. Listen to Amber Lyon, the interview we just did. She worked at CNN. And CNN was accepting money to pay to run essentially like travel brochure ads about certain countries that were paying them money to do so. And they're being paid to bury other stories so you would never hear about stuff. It's corrupt. Money corrupts. So what better way than to go to a bunch of poor people trying to start a media empire? So that's what we have going on here. I mean, the harder you make it for things to succeed, people are going to leave. Toyota just took 4,000, 5,000 jobs from California to Texas. And that's what this article's saying. Back to the article, last couple sentences. They say smaller companies that can't afford to pay for faster delivery would likely face additional obstacles against bigger rivals. And consumers could see a trickle-down effect of higher prices as websites try to pass along new costs of doing business with internet service providers. Oh, actually, there's a whole bunch more to this story. But let me bounce over here. I'll be brief. This one's on Washington Examiner now. Ted Cruz says the Ted Cruz bill would ban FCC's latest venture in net neutrality. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas wants Congress to ban the FCC's latest venture in net neutrality, saying the proposed changes to internet regulations would damage the industry. Quote, a 5-member panel at the FCC should not be dictating how internet services will be provided to millions of Americans, Cruz said in a Wednesday afternoon statement. I will be introducing legislation that would remove the claimed authority. Yeah, it's claimed authority. See, that's the thing about the internet. This belongs to all of us. The oligarchs need not apply. This isn't yours. Sorry, Al Gore. You didn't invent the internet. I wonder if I have that. I wonder if I can... Just for historical purposes. Al Gore... Oh, yeah. Invented. Yeah. Just so you guys know. Where's the shortest one? Well, okay, this is the shortest one.
My service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the Internet. I took the initiative in moving forward a whole range of initiatives that have proven...
Yeah, just one more time.
Service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the Internet.
Well, he took the initiative and created the Internet. Good job, Al Gore. But I'm sorry, all of you oligarchs, you don't own the Internet. This is for the people. This is why there is an awakening. This is why we know about the Federal Reserve. This is why we're aware of false flag attacks. This is why we don't want to go into World War III. This is why we're concerned about the chemtrails and the bee populations dying off and the genetically modified foods and the fluoride in our water. It's why we're aware that the two-party system is really a one-party system controlled by the oligarchy, which is just essentially a couple of families, a few hundred families across the globe that control pretty much everything everywhere. And we're just servants, we're serfs. And as long as we get to, have a little fun and eat some decent food and maybe drink a few beers and, be distracted with sports and television and garbage, they get to live their massively awesome lives, and we're just their servants. And there's a whole United Nations Agenda 21 program. Look at Agenda 21. It's basically like Matrix, where like humans are the virus. Looking at us like, oh, we're producing too much carbon dioxide. We need to sterilize people with. We need to kill a whole bunch of people. This planet cannot sustain it. There's global climate change. Well, there might be galactic solar effects from what the sun is doing, not what people are doing. I don't want any more pollution than the next person, but humans are not the enemy of this planet. This is our planet. This is our spaceship as we hurtle through the atmosphere, as we hurtle through deep space on this Earthship, this spaceship called Earth. Anyway, I digress. That is exactly what these people want to do. They want the internet back because they cannot control us when we have the internet. So kudos to Ted Cruz here, but let me get back here. I stopped on the claiming authority because they're just claiming it. They don't have it. This is the people. The people have this. And they're scared essless. They are watching Tahrir Square, watching uprisings all over the globe. Knowing that only a couple of banking families have bought off the politicians that write the rules to rig the system so that they always keep and you always struggle. It's the same group of people that run the Federal Reserve, which is not federal. It's a private banking cartel. Banksters, you can call them, that keep devaluing your money. Back in the good old days, if there ever was such a thing, because we all had our problems, whether it was the Japanese being interned in World War II, whether it was slavery prior to the Civil War, whether it was, go down the line, there's been tons of atrocities committed. I'm not saying it's a perfect country, but at least at one point, you used to have the opportunity for a family where one person would work a job and one person would stay home and raise kids and take care of the house, and money actually went far, is the point. I'm not going to talk about like the nuclear family and the Leave It to Beaver stuff, but I'm saying that money used to actually buy things. Go to the grocery store. Your food is a lot more expensive. I haven't been driving for many decades, but I remember gas at under 99 cents a gallon. It's like $4.50. It's not that stuff's getting more expensive. It's that the U.S. dollar is being intentionally devalued. That's a plan. Getting rid of the internet and making it harder for other people to compete against the propaganda we're receiving is a plan. Henry Waxman said the FCC pushing net neutrality will mark the culmination of their 100-year plan, talking about the progressive Democrats. This will be the culmination of our 100-year plan, net neutrality. Kind of sounds a little sinister if you keep thinking about the culmination of our 100-year plan. It's a little different from the meme that we share on the New American Media, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook, where it says, libertarians diligently plotting to take over the world and leave you alone. Which one would you rather have? I'll be told what to do, or you just want to live by the golden rule and you just do your thing. And if you're not really punching other people or stealing from other people or murdering other people, you're left alone. We all get to live our lives, and it's all sorted out by a maker, if there is a maker, a creator, a God, however you choose to define it, when we're gone from this sphere. So, Cruz said in his Wednesday afternoon statement, I will be introducing legislation that would remove the claimed authority of the FCC to take such action, specifically the Commission's nebulous Section 706 authority. More than $1 trillion has already been invested in broadband infrastructure, which has led to an explosion of new content, applications, and internet accessibility. Congress, not an unelected commission, should take the lead on modernizing our telecommunications laws. The FCC should not endanger future investments by stifling growth in the online sector, which remains a much-needed bright spot in our struggling economy. Let's push it further. Senator Al Franken, Democrat from Minnesota, says he's also denounced the proposed rules unveiled by FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler, saying, quote, the latest proposed rules by Wheeler, what he's really talking about, is creating a fast lane where people can pay to have their content treated unequally. He told Time, that's not net neutrality, that's pay for play. That's antithetical to net neutrality. Wheeler tried to contradict such changes in an April 24 blog post. Quote, the allegation that it will result in anti-competitive price increases for consumers is also unfounded, he wrote. That is exactly what the commercially unreasonable test will protect against, harm to competition and consumers stemming from abusive market activity. Whatever. If you're buying that, you know what, I'm going to list a lot of my stuff for sale if you're buying that one. You can't believe anything from this administration. Benghazi was about a YouTube video. Remember that? Obamacare. Hey, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Period. Oh, why are you bashing Democrats? How about weapons of mass destruction? So should we believe politicians? Or should we really restrain them? Should we put handcuffs on the things that they try to do to us? I think that's what we should do. You know, in one of the comments, and I'll give credit to Blake Wally for Blake the Eccentric Wally. You can find him on. He's a radio host. He was the one with me filming at the United We Stand Festival. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. He does a show, Eccentric Perspective, on freedomizerradio.com, part of the Blog Talk Network. And you can get his podcast by searching Eccentric Perspective. And he's on Twitter at Eccentric99. Let's do that. Make sure that you go on Twitter and follow him at Eccentric99. We, of course, are at American_media_. But Blake talked about this on his show on Thursday, and I said, well, found some good articles. Make sure you tweet those out, and I'm going to cover it on Agree to Disagree. So I just want to give him credit for finding this information and digging into it, because one of the comments that he read really kind of sums it up for me. And I have to paraphrase because I don't have it in front of me. Oh, maybe 431 comments. Let's click on it and see if it's one of the top comments. I'm not sure how they populate these, because if it was a great comment a few days ago, it might be a great comment now, and it might be right at the top. But then again, maybe I didn't pay enough for great internet, so I'm not going to receive it. Okay, here we go. Breath of fresh air, a day ago. This leader has proven that he's on the side of we the people ever since he was sent to D.C. by Texas, especially with Obamacare, which he has fought constantly and tirelessly against heavy opposition from both sides of the aisle. There are very few leaders in D.C. that I feel inclined to trust, but he's at the top of that very short list. Another comment, Senator Cruz is a breath of fresh air. We need an entire legislature like him. People who don't trust him, like your pathetic responder below, are the bottom feeders among us who see their... who see their gimme-dats threatened. President Cruz has a nice ring to it. Cruz is not the best choice. He's the only choice. The rhinos will raise a stink, but don't worry about traitors. No Clintons, no Bushes. I love that. Can you all repeat after me? No more Clinton, no more Bush. I don't like your dirty looks. Those are oligarchs. Those are ruling families that think they're better than you and have more of a divine right to be your ruler. You want to go get ruled, you go elsewhere. That's not happening here. Actually, maybe do a search. Okay. Yeah, you know what? The quote isn't here, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. It said something about what this FCC plan would do. Would put up toll booths on the information superhighway. No, what makes this thing awesome is that it's accessible to all. Don't go messing with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, remember the income tax was only supposed to be a tiny little portion, and then it went up to what, like 90%? You give an inch, they'll take a mile. Don't give an inch on this. This is your internet. They're claiming authority. They don't have authority over this. This belongs to you, the people. And you have 120 days to make your voices heard. Seriously, this is probably the most important story going on now. Very few things were going to distract me from Benghazi, because I want to know, where were President Obama and Secretary Hillary Clinton when the attacks happened. Why were not all of the military assets possible deployed to try to save or recover these people after the attack? Why was nobody ever arrested? Why did you blame a YouTube video essentially saying that the freedom of speech has consequences, and if you insult Islam, then people die? Hey, the future does not belong to those who would insult the prophet of Islam. Oh, you can insult the prophet of Christianity, the prophet of Hinduism, the prophet of Buddhism, prophet of, go down the list. Oh, yeah, you can insult everybody, but not that. Why in the world was that the narrative? Because seriously, it wasn't just about trying to get elected, which it was. Had the truth come out, you'd see President Romney. And really, a huge part of me is very happy that didn't happen. Because all you neocons would have went back to sleep and said, "No, look, we got it. Now our guy's in there." Yeah, your guy was in there last time with Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld. Remember that? That didn't go so well. America. So, Benghazi is a huge issue to me because I have friends who have served, friends that are currently serving, family that have served, family that are serving, and if they left them out there, it almost seemed from the beginning like they wanted Ambassador Stevens dead. And that's not cool. Navy SEALs died there that day. Was it Ty Woods, Glenn Doherty, Sean Smith, and Ambassador Stevens? I hope I got those right. Man. Now I gotta look it up. I just want to make sure I didn't butcher that. Oh, man, I'm sorry for the pun. Because these people were butchered. You see those bloody handprints? I think I said this right. Tyrone Woods, Glenn Doherty, Sean Smith, and Ambassador Chris Stevens. I think I just wanted to make sure I didn't have it in front of me. But really, blaming a YouTube video? Oh, a spontaneous protest broke out, so, we should expect that. No, you don't expect that. Insult Jesus Christ, you don't have riots, and you don't have murders and dragging tortured, naked bodies through the streets as you shout about how great your God is. It doesn't happen in Christianity. What about the Crusades? Man, okay, I don't know about every single time. But you don't see it today. Just the excuse from the beginning is like, well, you insulted him, so hey, what do you expect? Hey, there are consequences. Hey. It's just insane. So my focus has really been on Benghazi for a long time. And this is even more important right now, this FCC thing. So dig into it, find some information, and I guess, I don't even know exactly how to phrase the question. Because I want to put agree or disagree. Because it's a little complicated. Like how do I make the question? A multi-tiered system of payment options on the internet is a great idea. Agree or disagree. That's really verbose. It's really wordy, and it's kind of, But you get what I'm saying. Or, how about we should just leave the internet alone? Is that okay? I don't have a producer. I'm pretending I'm a producer. What? Mm-hmm. Well, right. Okay, my producer's telling me that that's pretty good. We should just leave the internet alone. Agree or disagree? Something like that. We just want your comments. We want the conversation. We want you to wake people up. So please share this content, embed it on your own site, tweet it out, really leave your comments and engage in the conversation. Soak this up, because if you lose the internet, people, oh my God, good luck. Good luck. You have any idea how much worse things would, how much more miserable things would be right now if we didn't have the internet to call them on their BS? All of them. We cannot lose the internet. So, join this conversation. Leave your comments below and participate. Check out our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com, on youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Subscribe to the page. Peruse around. We got some cool content. Follow us on Twitter at American_media_ and like our page on Facebook. Search The New American Media and like the page. So, my name is Brian Engelman. I will be signing out. Special thanks to my earlier segment with Zach Barris, lifelong Cleveland sports fan and NBA scout, who joined us on the Unhappy Hour, the only Los Angeles-based Cleveland-centric sports show that I'm currently aware of. Of course, we always talk about national stories as well, but, from a Clevelander's perspective. Of course, I've been in LA for 9 years now, so I'm a Los Angelino. I'm an Angelino, maybe. But, you remember your roots. You got to respect your roots while you blend in where you currently are. A little bit of assimilation while... sports, you don't just flip a switch and forget the team that you grew up watching and wearing jerseys of and trading baseball cards of and going to the games and tailgating. You don't trade that. You keep that. So I'm keeping that. And remember. Oh, you know what? I think what I need to do, and I'm gonna do this right now, because I want to make sure. Today's show is all about making sure I get things right. And that actually kind of scares me, because now I'm wondering what else I got wrong. It's almost like when Conan O'Brien puts out his fan corrections, and then they nitpick it until they find things. Alright, let me find this, because I put a tweet out. I thought it was pretty fantastic. But I need to locate. What did they say, the 15th? So yeah, this would have been yesterday. Alright, really trying to locate it. It's a good one. I'm telling you, bear with me here. May 13th. Now, where the heck did I... Okay, here's the net neutrality. Russia cutting access to space. FCC moving for an internet fast lane. FCC votes net neutrality, paid priority on the internet. It's in here somewhere. Lord Almighty, I'm trying to find this thing. Wow, I really can't locate it. I know how to paraphrase it, but I want to get this right. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's the topic. Net neutrality is neither neutral. There we go. All right, fine. This is close enough. I've just located it on our Twitter feed. Sorry, I was doing the Mike Myers thing from Saturday Night Live. Here's a topic. Okay. Said yesterday, if you like affordable high-speed internet, you can keep your affordable high-speed internet. Hashtag FCC. So, come on, people. Pay attention to this story. Get engaged. Get active. I don't mean go out and get engaged to somebody. Get engaged in this. You can if you want to. Hey, not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. But get engaged. And there, we just tweeted it out. If you like affordable high-speed internet, you can keep your affordable high-speed internet. Hashtag FCC. Really, don't trust these clowns. Don't trust them. Put restrictions on the things they can and cannot do to us, we the people. You deserve that. So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to expect you to go do your homework and meet me again here next week. Every Friday we do our shows. We try to do them at 4 and 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Sports at 4 and then agree to disagree at 5. But occasionally you have guests that can come on a little earlier, a little later. And, I will moderate the schedule to allow for those opportunities. So, roughly. But you can always check out all of our stuff after the fact. Like I said, our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com, just celebrated our 3-year anniversary. youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. It's a cool channel. I'm telling you, check it out. We have 1,508 subscribers, 294,185 video views. Actually, unless I refresh, then maybe there's more. I gotta hit refresh every 5 minutes to see if more people like our stuff. No, I really don't. But Facebook, do a search for The New American Media and like the page and stay active. You gotta put comments in there and like things, otherwise they'll stop showing it to you, which is why I'm really starting to kind of peel away from how important I think the Facebook page is for the future of The New American Media. It really may have peaked. Once again, they're restricting content. Just the same thing FCC wants to do. They want to restrict the content. You know what? If I like someone's page, I want to see the stuff on their page. And if I get sick of seeing the stuff on their page, I will say limit the content. I don't want you deciding for me how fast my internet should be or what content I should receive. Capiche? Capiche. And on Twitter, we're at American_media_. So I'm going to sign out, and I eagerly look forward to your feedback. Thank you again for your time.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.